What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Destiny, and today we're going to be going over another weapon. This time we're going to be looking at the exotic pulse rifle, the Red Death. We're actually here on the moon, changing it up a little bit, giving you a little bit of change of scenery from the Cosmodrome. We're going to talk about Red Death here. This is an exotic pulse rifle. It's a rather cool looking pulse rifle. This is actually one of those weapons that I wanted to get my hands on the first time that I saw the Xur had this weapon. So one that I've been after for a while. I did get it a while back. I've actually had two of these, and both of them dropped from the Cryptarch off of a legendary primary weapon engram. So I got really lucky twice. He gave me two of these, and really great weapon. Really enjoying it, especially since the pulse rifle buff that came with patch 1.1.1. That thing really helped out pulse rifles. Red Death was a good weapon before that patch. Now it's very, very good. This is a weapon you can use both in PVE and PVP, and does very well. And I'm really enjoying using it in the Crucible, and also using it for a lot of in-game PVE things. So you see here, it's a 3-burst, just like all the other pulse rifles. It looks like an auto rifle though, which is kind of neat. So it's got a little bit of a different look to it. Very cool looking weapon. It's got spikes on it. It's got the little skull there in the scope, and get the red on the weapon counter there, so for the ammunition. So very nice pulse rifle overall. Looks very cool. Pretty decent reload speed. Pretty good statistics all around. So this weapon, just to give you guys some quick numbers on this, if you are using this when it's maxed out at 331 attack, if you're using this against level 30s, you are going to get 476 damage per headshot. That's 1,428 damage per 3-round burst. 159 with the body, which will give you a 477 damage overall for a burst, and again that's on a level 30. If you do a level 30 major, you're looking at 238 damage per bullet on a headshot, which is 714 for the burst if you land all three, and again 159 for a body shot. So pretty decent damage this weapon does in PvE. Also does very good damage in PvP, but we'll get to those numbers in a minute when I go into the Crucible with it, to show you guys a little bit of gameplay with the Red Death. But overall, very good weapon in PvE. It's got really decent perks on it, which we're going to take a look at here in just a second. Just showing you guys a little bit of how the weapon handles here, so you can get a pretty decent look at it. Typical pulse rifle, very accurate. It's got one thing I do like about it is it handles a lot better than a lot of the other pulse rifles. There's a lot of pulse rifles that to me just handle really poorly. Because they reload too slow, or they're just not very good in general. So I'm just trying to find a spot here where we're not going to get sniped at by anybody, and we can take a look at the weapon more in depth. Alright, so let's take a look at Red Death. You see here it is level 20. It is an exotic pulse rifle, 331 attack. Vanguard policy urges Guardians to destroy this weapon on sight. Has a pretty checkered history to it. It's been used to kill a lot of Guardians in the Crucible, so they say whoever wields this weapon also is prone to be killed at some point. So you can see there are the main perks. It's easier to aim under fire using this weapon, and each kill heals you and speeds up your reloads. That is an awesome perk. It comes in handy in both PvE and PvP. And let's take a look at the weapon here more in depth. You've got Accurized Ballistics, which is a pretty solid perk there. You see it bumps out your range a little bit, but you do suffer a little penalty to impact and stability. Field Choke, sort of the same thing. I use Aggressive Ballistics because it does have the highest impact rating, and the range on this thing, it's the little improvement here isn't going to help a whole lot. That's actually one of the weaknesses of this weapon when you get into the Crucible, but we'll get into that a little bit more later. Unflinching, it's easier to aim under fire with this weapon. This is a great perk for PvE and especially in PvP. Got your upgrade damage. And for your middle tree, you've got Snapshot. Aiming is incredibly fast. You've got high caliber rounds which stagger targets. And you have single point sling, so you can switch weapons faster and move faster while aiming. These are all very good perks. A lot of these are more prone for PvP. It's one of the reasons I use single point sling, is because it's really easy to switch to a shotgun, and you can move a little bit quicker when you're aiming down your sights, which really is very helpful when you're in the Crucible. Now here we get to the main exotic perk, which is Red Death. Each kill heals you and speeds up reload time. This is a great perk because it doesn't instantly heal you, but it starts a healing process as soon as you get a kill with this weapon. So very helpful in PvE if you're doing any kind of hard in-game content. You get a kill, you're going to get healed with that. And in PvP, where this comes in handy is, let's say you get into a gunfight with someone with Thorn, or just in general, and you take some pretty good damage, and you got a sliver of life left. What normally happens is someone on the other team is going to come by and usually kill you and clean you up in a couple of hits. With this perk, you take out one guy, you'll start to heal, so it helps you in those encounters when you might be faced with more than one person. So excellent perk there. And the rest of this, just upgrade damage. So that is kind of a look at Red Death there in terms of just overall. Like I said, very good weapon, very good looking weapon. Now, if we want to talk about PvP, you are going to get some pretty good numbers with this. This is probably one of the better weapons in PvP, especially when you're talking about exotics. And like I said, we'll get into some gameplay with that here in just a minute. So if you guys will just bear with me 1 second here, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to switch over into the Crucible. So hang tight, guys, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, and we are back here now going into the Crucible with Red Death. And as usually happens, every time I try to do a video for these weapon guides, I get an absolutely horrendous map for the weapon type I am using. We're on Anomaly here on the moon. This is a map more suited for close range weapons, more like auto rifles, shotguns, things like that. It's not a great pulse rifle map at all, but we're going to do our best here and see if we can't maybe do something about that. Again, not one of my favorite maps here, but we are going to try our best. And we're already getting bagged with a sniper rifle. The thing I forgot to do is turn on blink. So anyways, guys, we are going to get into this here. This is a pretty good PvP pulse rifle. You're going to get 36 damage for a headshot, and also 24 damage on a body shot. Now, of course, that is just per bullet. You are going to get, 3-round burst on this. You can see there 24, 36. It just depends on how many hits you can actually land on target. And I'm just trying to get some kills here for. Here we go. We got one there. We get a double down. All right. So we got a couple kills there. You can see this weapon handles pretty good in the Crucible. It's decent at a lot of different ranges. Now you are going to get 108 if you land all 3 rounds on a burst for a headshot, and you're going to get 72 for a full burst if you land a body shot. Now, since most Guardians are only going to have around max 200 health, depending, and that can change depending on a few things, but most of the time they're only going to have about 200 health. So if you do land a full headshot burst, you're going to get a 2-burst kill with this pulse rifle. So it can be very good in that aspect. It's, like I said, pretty good pulse rifle in terms of the damage it can do. You can see there, it does kill very quickly at a wide variety of ranges. Now, one of the things you do run into some issues with this pulse rifle is that sometimes at longer ranges it's not as effective. You will lose out to hand cannons. You will lose out to Surge Regime. You'll lose out to Thorn. And some other weapons from a long range, some of the scout rifles. So this is really a very good mid-range pulse rifle. It's something you want to, like I said, not try to use from a long range. It's decent, but it it can suffer when you're trying to use it from a longer range. So that's pretty much the main statistics on it for PvP. Like I said, I prefer to use this on a little bit of a better map. This is not one of the better maps for pulse rifle, as I said before, but you really got to try to use your, set this up to your advantage. You can get creative with how you use it. I'm gonna probably get killed if I go in here. I don't know where I'm watching the radar, but I can't see this guy. So I'm gonna try to sit here, and I'm actually gonna commentate through this match. I don't normally do this, but we'll let you guys can get some live commentary, and hopefully I'm not gonna play terrible as I sometimes do. So far this match is going okay. It's pretty close actually, which is a surprise. Normally I get the worst teams, and these don't end up going very well, but it's not too bad so far. I do really enjoy using Red Death. I'm a fan of pulse rifles and scout rifles. I kind of like the longer range. I've always been a fan of the burst weapons, and was really happy to finally be able to pick up this gun. I got lucky, like I said, from the Cryptarch. He dropped 2 of these for me in a pretty decent amount of time. You can see there, headshots with this do kill very quickly. But like I said, this weapon very beneficial, especially for my play. I am a mid-range playstyle kind of person. I like to kind of play very patiently and sort of, work my way around the map. Try to keep encounters at a decent range for myself. And you see that always happen. I can never adjust quickly enough when somebody's coming up on me with a shotgun. Just not used to that play. Admittedly, I'm a primary only player. I don't really like secondary weapons. That's just how I've always been on first-person shooter games. It's one of the reasons I'm very glad they switched up to, they made the patch changes where they're gonna, make it so that people aren't able to just spam their secondary anymore in the Crucible. I think that's really going to improve the overall gameplay in the Crucible. At least I hope it does. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out for Iron Banner next week. As you guys know, Iron Banner is coming up pretty soon, so we're going to get to see how those changes affect it. These guys over here. Come on. Yeah, we got the assist there. That's okay. Yeah, we got hit with Fist of Panic. This match is going okay. It's a decent match. It's not one of my better ones, but it's going okay so far. You see this weapon does reload very quickly when you get a kill. That's one of the other parts of the Red Death perk, is the reload speed when you get a kill. It works very well at close range even. Those headshots, like I said, can take people down really quickly. Sorry guys, sometimes I get quiet when I'm doing these and trying to, I get stuck on here. And of course, every time I throw my super, somebody kills the guy. Alright, we got some heavy ammo for once. That is a rarity. I usually don't get heavy ammo in these matches. Like I say, guys, sorry if I get quiet. I try to concentrate on the radar a little bit. And these guys are all over the place. And face first into a rocket. That's always fun. I swear, heavy ammo for me is like a curse when I get in the Crucible. The minute I pick it up, it's usually instant death. Every time. Alright. See, there we got outdueled with Red Death. That guy kind of got the jump on me. Red Death is one of those weapons, if someone gets the drop on you with it, it is extremely hard to fight back, especially if you're in close range, because like I said, it's that 2-burst kill up close. This thing, a lot of people are complaining about it being overpowered in the Crucible, especially since Xur had it. It seems every time Xur has a weapon, people are going to say it's overpowered. You can see there I got mowed down pretty quick. Any weapon is going to seem overpowered when you're playing against good players. And I am admittedly not a good player. I hold my own most of the time, do pretty good, but I don't consider myself to be like an expert at PvP. But a lot of the times the weapons, people get killed by them a lot, and they say, oh, it's overpowered, and all this, and it needs to be nerfed. And I'm not a huge fan of weapon nerfs. You can see there, pretty good close range kill there. There was a Titan rushing up on me. I don't know why he didn't have a shotgun. If he had a shotgun, he'd have killed me easily. To the end here. Hopefully this match we can actually pull out a victory here.
Enemy captured
So that guy had been killing me with Red Death all the time, so we got him back there. Alright. See, that's what I just don't understand. You know, I hit that guy with... Somehow that was a post-mortem kill. I don't know how that worked there. You know, it's always... That's what seems to happen. I get a shotgun and I shoot somebody and I don't get a kill. You know, they one-shot me instantly every time. When I do it, it's like... It's basically just, you know... I get like half death, half damage on them, and then... Somehow I die, but... It's always a one-shot for them, but not for me. Alright, so that was a halfway decent match. Didn't play great. Played about average for me. Let's see, we got at 1.27. That's okay. That's pretty good for me. I'll take that. Anything above 1.0 I'm usually happy with. So 14 kills, a little on the low side, but overall not a bad match. And again, that was a terrible map for Red Death, at least in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Anomaly. I don't really like the short-range maps. Prefer the more open, kind of mid-range maps. A little bit more beneficial to my playstyle. Just to recap real quick here, guys. Red Death in PvP, as you just saw there. You're going to get 36 damage in a headshot, 24 body shot. That's 108 damage per burst if you can land all 3 bullets on a headshot. So this will be a 2-burst kill, which is very good. Pretty much anywhere from mid-range and in. So anyways, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the commentary there. I hate, sorry you guys had to sit here a little bit longer through the PvP part, but I like to bring you guys a full match and show you the different situations you can get into with the weapons, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you guys have any other hints and tips with Red Death, put them down below in the comments and let me know if there's any other weapons in the Crucible you might want to see me do a review on. If I have it, I'll do my best. If not, I'll see if I can't pick it up. So anyways, guys, it's been TechnoViking23 with some Crucible gameplay here with Red Death. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again next time.